Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug. It is, of course, time for an interview, a very special interview. I'm Aaron Nix, the Egyptian Death Machine. Joining me on the podcast, hopefully you'll be watching this around Christmas, and that. Joining me on the podcast are two of the preeminent individuals at ACW Professional Wrestling, Ascension Championship Wrestling, for those of you not in the know. One individual goes by the name of the heart-stopping JC Cardy, and of course his tag team partner in crime, the Mosh Pit Psycho, Thrash Kady. Together they are. Of course.
That's me. Man in the screen said it was me.
Yes, the man on the screen said it is you. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Thrash Hearts, one of the most dangerous tag teams in the South Coast today. Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Good day to you, Mr. Nix.
Yeah, I agree to do this. Apparently.
Yeah. And like you say, hopefully this will be going out around Christmas time because it is that lovely festive time of year at the moment. And I thought now would be the perfect time to give Thrash Kady a little something.
Oh, look at that.
Present. No one ever gets some presents.
I wonder why that is.
Or beer.
I know you like beer. He loves beer.
He's off to a good start.
Oh, it's a Thrash Kady action doll.
Oh my lord!
You got a Thrash Kady action doll, man, on the screen?
I don't know. Man on the screen does not have a Thrash Kady action doll.
Oh, I know my mum buys me presents. Let's give you something.
Oh, you don't have to get me anything.
No, I don't have much.
No. Thrash Kady. Does he?
I have to have a pocket sausage.
Wow.
I'm deeply honoured, Thrash. Thank you.
I'm hungry now.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
That's what Christmas is it?
Yeah, Christmas.
Brilliant. Let's get on with it.
All right, we've exchanged gifts. Now that they've done that, we'll give you the gift of the Thrash Hearts for everybody watching at home. And you know there's going to be a lot of people watching. Gentlemen, you have been a tag team for a number of months now. You have been in the same company for longer than that. What has instituted this new tag team? What has made this dangerous duo come together at such an interesting time during the professional wrestling landscape?
So it sort of goes back probably about a year now. I was having some issues with the tetrahedral dolphin warrior over at ACW, and so I knew that he was friends with Rusty Jack, and I had an inkling that they were. I know you don't like him, do you?
No, rabid little mongrel.
But I knew that they probably had something in store for me, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to get the first strike in. I went out, I found Thrash Kady, I recruited him to my side. I had him by my side that time a year ago. Since then, we've become fast friends. We're always hanging out. We go for a drink down the pub together.
I don't know that happens very often.
And all the time, loving it. And we, always hanging out together. And then we decided that actually it would be fun to have a tag team. So Thrash, obviously, he's very good and doesn't need a tag team partner. So he gave me a couple of tasks I needed to do, and I completed those tasks, no questions asked. And then we became tag team partners. And the rest of it is documented on your fine camera work.
Yes, everyone else is a dork, and I hate them. I can just about put up with you. So
that too, yeah.
That's quite a compliment coming from you, Thrash. You don't have many friends. What makes JC so special?
Mildly less annoying than everyone else, and so far he's proven pretty trustworthy of having me back. And in an industry full of snakes, you need someone. He gets that privilege, even if he does it like a complete dork.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's talk about your fashion sense, JC. You are a heart stopper by name and by nature. Where does your inspiration for your look come from?
Well, I mean, I really like shiny stuff. I love it. If it's shiny, it's cool to me. I'll take it. Silver, you can get pink shiny, that's awesome. Anything mirrored, anything I can see my beautiful face in, anything that Thrash could see his beautiful face with great eye makeup, check that out. Does that himself. So
yeah, that's quite
mainly,
obvious.
mainly I'm just into if it's shiny, and I'll tell you something that's shiny. A couple of belts that would look good round our waist. So any company who's looking for contenders, give us a call.
Yeah,
I'm
apart
glad
from
you mentioned
answer the
that.
phone because we're not old people.
Well, you never answer the phone, but
I'm glad you mentioned tag team titles. ACW right now doesn't have a pair of tag team championships. I'm sure they're in the works with the powers that be. Explain to the viewers why you are not currently tag team champions of any sort.
well, I mean, we've only been together tagging for what, sort of 5 or 6 months or something. Like you say, ACW doesn't have tag belts because Adam Wessex is useless. He's too busy thinking about what he wants to do with his life. He doesn't see the potential in bringing in a tag division into ACW. And
well, we know that he knows he'd win, and he don't like us because
yeah, that's probably the most part of it, isn't it? Because he really doesn't like us. He's made
Why
that
is
very
that?
clear from day one that he's not on the Thrash Hearts page. So the likelihood of any tag team titles coming in is going to basically, I believe, stem on the amount of other tag teams that are going to come in.
You mentioned Adam Wessex. I want to know why it is that at the last show in particular, Adam Wessex saw fit to punish you by putting you on the sound for the rest of the show. He referred to you as sound dorks. Can you give us a little bit of an insight?
it's not our fault we went wrong. We weren't trained in that. No health and safety.
I really just, I was absolutely put on the spot in a position that I never want to be in again. I don't want to be doing sound. Like I'm not there to do sound. That's a massive distraction to anyone in the audience because they're going to be looking at me behind the sound desk because I'm clearly the main attraction there. Me and Thrash Kady sat behind the sound desk with anyone in the ring is going to be a far better thing to watch.
And basically, we're the only people who stand up to him, pretty much. Little brown noses want to get up to the management, corporate shills, and we don't put up with that. It rankles his little cold heart.
It's not like us since day one.
No, ever since he worked his way up from the hood, he's forgotten his roots. Don't like us.
Stabbed so many people in the back getting off those streets.
I can't imagine Adam Wessex on the streets. I just don't think that's.
He would run with all the homies.
Oh, really?
He would have just been the dirty little pimp, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Dirty little backstabbing pimp.
Dirty little backstabbing pimp.
Yeah, quote me on that.
You can tell him we said that.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm sure he's watching, to be fair.
He's got nothing better to do with his time, is he?
It's safe to say you guys have had many a problem with Rusty Jack.
Yeah.
But also there seems to be new individuals coming into the fold, getting in the way of things. Now, JC Cardy, at the last show, you were unfortunately injured, which means you couldn't grace us with your wrestling presence.
I'm still injured, I'll have you know, so I'll have no physicality on this podcast. Thank you very much.
No physicality, that's fine. How long until you are medically cleared to compete?
We're looking at, it's a matter of weeks, not months.
Excellent.
So it's not going to be too long.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Let's
with
be
that in
honest,
mind,
you're making me go to that foreign island again.
Yeah, I'm taking him across the sea to faraway lands.
which foreign island would that be? Just out of curiosity.
That will be to Outcast Pro Wrestling for Island Warfare.
That's an extremely foreign landscape, yeah.
Didn't understand a word they said. You told me they spoke English.
It's a dialect, at least.
How's your experience of Outcast Pro Wrestling gone so far? I know that you've been over there, JC.
Well, do you want to start? You've been over.
Well, would have been fine if that hairy little midget hadn't thrown me out the ring on my own face. Battle Royals don't count as losses. He hasn't beaten me yet.
He hasn't
Rumbles
pinned
and Battle Royals don't count.
No, So this is Rusty Jack, who followed us over onto the island.
Got a feeling he hid in the boot of the car.
He must have done. He probably hid in someone's wrestling boot. He's that small. So I just cannot stand the feral little Mongol. I don't like being in the same ring as him. I don't like being in the same locker room as him. I wouldn't have him in my house. Could you imagine it? He'd be molting and spitting and snotting, weeing and pooing and sicking, and I'd just be disgusting.
He didn't smell very nice either.
Oh no! Oh yuck!
Smells worse than most wrestling fans.
Disgusting. Ugh.
That is saying something. But the thing is with Rusty, so let's look at the results, boys. So at the last show, Thrash Kady, you were basically blindsided by a brand new competitor. Do you want to give us some insight into that?
I don't want to talk about Benjamin Stone.
Oh, that was the mustachy man who dropped me on my head.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about, after what he did, we don't want to talk about Benjamin Stone.
He was a bit stronger than I was expecting. If I had preparation, it would have all been fine. But
I mean, to attack an injured man like that, and kick his cane out from underneath him, put him on his ass, and then go into the ring and insert himself into what was supposed to be a nice, easy one-on-one match for Thrash Kady against Rusty Jack. He's beaten him before. It would have been straightforward, but Benjamin Stone comes and inserts himself in. And let me tell you, Mr. Stone, that suplexing every
that's not
living...
Mr. Stone, that's the man on the screen.
I'm sending a message direct to Mr. Stone.
Oh.
Suplexing every living thing out of their shoes is a very transparent ploy to get people to like you.
Well, it works for some, I guess, at least on the mainstream. The lasting image for a lot of people will be the fact that both of you were in the ring tapping out before you were then sent to the
ambushed again.
Ambushed again. Not only ambushed, but Rusty Jack, the fetid little swine, locking in an ankle lock on my injured leg. Of course I'm going to be tapping out to that.
And I've just been dropped to my head multiple times. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I don't even think Thrash was tapping out. I think he was spasming from all the concussions.
He had more than one concussion from the same match. Is that what you're implying?
Throughout his life.
I'm fine.
He is fine.
Is that a reason as to why you guys are essentially living in what I can tell is a dark alley at this point?
Well, Thrash said to meet him here because he piggybacks off the Wi-Fi signal from the casino.
Okay.
So when he said, obviously, bring a scarf and a hat, I thought he meant as a stylistic choice, and it's actually a lot colder than I'm making it look. But I'm hard, so don't worry.
Yeah, you say you're hard, JC Cardy, and yet I've noticed that, I mean, is it fair to say a lot of people at ACW are suggesting that the only reason that you've decided to tag with Thrash Kady is because you had a serious problem picking up any wins against any credible opponents. You've lost to Rusty Jack, you've lost to...
I have never lost to Rusty Jack.
When did I lose to Rusty Jack?
When did I lose to Rusty Jack? I don't remember losing to Rusty Jack.
What about Ryan Hendricks? You lost to Ryan Hendricks as well.
Ryan Hendricks is a cheating scum. He cut me open with some cabbage. And
is that the greengrocer guy?
That's the greengrocer guy. Yeah, we got our own back though at PCW. We beat him and his mate Frankie T. So that's been put to bed. Thank you very much.
How about Rudy Root?
Rudy Root, once again, he's a fantastic competitor.
I've heard of any of these people.
One of the foreigners from over on that island you don't like.
Oh, he probably gave me his name. I have no idea who it was.
Yeah, so he's a fantastic competitor. He's I'm not ashamed to admit that he has got a victory over me in history up in some land up north, Berkshire. However, I do have a win back over him, so we are currently 1-1. And if anyone wants to book us both for the final of our trilogy, then please do, because I've got unfinished business there, and I believe he does too.
Who's the brains in this operation?
I mean, you've heard him speak. It's clearly not Cardy.
And Thrash is very intelligent as well. I think we take, we take cues from each other, and
I just choose not to speak constantly.
and that's why we work together so well, because he's very quiet and I like to plug those gaps of silence with some
Constantly.
good words. And
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's shift gears. You have brand new t-shirts. You have a tag team name. Let's be honest, they're beautiful t-shirts. They are obviously available at all ACW shows. Let me ask you about the origins of the word cacker. Where does this come from?
so, cacker is someone who's a cacker is someone. Basically, you can divide a wrestling audience into two sections. Basically, you've got sweaty, disgusting, hairy messes who have done nothing their whole lives but disappoint their parents and sit there shaking hands with beef. Now that's everyone in a wrestling audience. However, you've got your dorks, and they don't like the Thrash Hearts because they're dorks. And the cackers are the ones that do.
Yeah. Ones who aren't fooled by the gymnasts.
Yeah, the ones who've got a
cosplayers.
little bit of intelligence upstairs, and they know exactly what they want, and that is a tag team who's going to lay down the law.
The opportunity that you had as a tag team against Rusty Jack and his mystery partner, no idea what the hell that was.
See, again.
Yeah, once again.
Booked in a match, blindsided, no idea what we're facing.
This is Adam Wessex, once again, leaving us as a complete afterthought.
Would you say that Adam Wessex has something against you personally? Do you feel like there's a witch hunt?
Well,
I think
in his one ever match in the ring, I beat him up so bad he's never got back in it again.
This is a fact. I mean, I think it's
pretty sure that's probably got something to do with it.
It's plain to see that Adam Wessex has got some kind of issue with both of us. I mean, as you say, on the last show, he put us both on sound. We had a perfectly good sound guy that he fired for no reason. He put us on sound.
No workers' rights. He wouldn't support the strikers.
Yeah, horrible. He's a Tory, Adam Wessex. Horrible, horrible Tory.
He's a Tory. Okay, fair enough.
Doesn't like us. Doesn't like us at all. I could tell as well, because obviously, you know, he's very recently, over the past sort of few months, he's been starting to show a bit of a different side. The real Adam Wessex is coming out, and other people are starting to see him for who exactly he actually is. And
yeah, you watch the stupid videos that Cardy filmed of us beforehand. You'll see we were calling him out well before then.
We knew.
Dirty shield corporate.
You could tell that time. You could tell that he was going to turn bad. He was going to become this evil and let all the mold and the fetidness spill out of him. That time when we all went out after a show that time, and he got really drunk. He drank like a whole bottle of gin, and he told Scott Jones and Danny Disorder that he could beat them both up. And then on his way home, he fell over in a bush and completely lost his dignity and his glasses.
I don't think that's it.
No.
Someone else.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell that story ever again.
Okay. It was definitely Adam Wessex.
Okay, we were. Well, I was going to follow up with questions on that story, but apparently we're not allowed to talk about that. So we'll move swiftly on.
That really was. She'll never be named.
Yeah. Sorry to bring that up, Thrash.
When does the rivalry with Rusty Jack end? Rusty Jack seems to be relentless in his pursuit of both of you. Every show he seems to be in your business. What is it going to take to get rid of him?
Well, I'll beat him. You beat him. We beat him in a tag.
Yeah.
As I've already said, rumbles and battle rolls don't count. Throwing me out those doesn't count. From how many times he does it?
Exactly.
I don't know. For him to have a dog collar match or something stupid like that, that's the sort of stupid thing they think of.
That would totally fit him as well.
If Adam Wessex would ever pull out the budget for a dog collar match.
No, but if Adam Wessex wants to keep throwing Rusty Jack at us, then we will keep hitting him out of the park.
Okay, and how about Benjamin Stone?
I mean,
he didn't really say anything. I don't even know if he liked us or not, or if he just turned up and dropped me on the head a lot. I'm not quite.
He does that. I've noticed that he's you know, it was his first ever match, and he's got the win. And you know, not everyone can do that, especially not in a triple threat match in his first ever match. So, you know, he's definitely one to watch for the future. But
we might have to beat him up a lot, but if he stays out of our way, we just put it down to we don't really need any more enemies right now.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure, you know, him dropping you on your head was purely business for him, and as it would be the other way around.
I would have punched him in the face a lot more if that
Yeah.
fetid little mongrel hadn't kept jumping me every time I tried.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Oh,
What's the aim for Thrash Hearts? Where do we see ourselves in a year's time? 2023 is right on the horizon, gentlemen.
yeah, lots of belts.
Lots of shiny belts.
Travel
Starting
to
with the
weird
Outcast Pro
foreign lands
Wrestling
where they
tag
speak
farm.
funny, and they'll pay us a load of money to turn up and beat up the dorks in their locker room.
Yeah.
Do you
Onwards.
quite fancy your chances of winning the Outcast Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships from the Sickness?
Do you know what?
Fancy, why not?
I reckon we could give them
They don't look that tough.
definitely give them a run for their money. I mean, I mean,
Be nice to
they
face someone
recently
who's
picked up the Isle of Wight Championship in their stable as well. So something tells me that the Virus K Michael, hello, the Virus K Michael, by the way. Something tells me he's going to be distracted if he has to go out there and defend the tag team championship, because he's got another little title to be looking after. So, you know, watch this space. We could have new Outcast Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions if the general manager over there, Jackson Arrow, who's a wonderful guy, we all know.
oh, you're such a dirty suck up. Oh yeah.
If he can book us in it, he's got his head screwed on, right? So I'm just waiting for the phone call.
And as far as the ACW roster goes, you obviously want to put them on notice, but your win-loss record is very patchy. What do you need to do to assert yourselves as the dominant tag team in ACW?
It's a tag team. We haven't lost.
Yeah, we're fourth, 3 or 4.
You're the only tag team, though, really, aren't you?
That's why we're the best.
So the other ones are all scared, run away.
No one else will.
I mean, they used to be the Wild Boys. Rusty Jack's actually, you know, he used to knock around, like I said, with the tetrahedral Dolphin Warrior, but obviously he hasn't been seen for a while, and I think that's due to some kind of injury. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But then he set up this other tag team, the Wild Boys, him and Big Benny V, who now also is injured. So something tells me that Rusty Jack is not the luckiest of charms for whoever tags up with him. That might be why there's no other tag teams around, because Rusty Jack keeps on injuring his tag team partners. Little tinfoil hat conspiracy for you there.
Said that in a very weird way. Told you to bring a woolly hat. Your head getting cold.
A few months back, you had a interview segment. This was a brand new launch for you guys, a brand new opportunity to show yourselves to the audience, and it was interrupted once again by Rusty Jack. Since then, we haven't seen any of these interview segments. Is there a reason for that, or is Adam Wessex just not pushing for the budget?
Adam Wessex, I've come to Adam Wessex with many different options, different pitches for him to say, you know, I want to get heart to heart back on the air. You know,
Last week you made me talk to people again, wasn't it?
that was when I made you talk to people, yeah. But you know, we had a really
Getting
good
bored.
thing
I'm going to go have a piss behind a dumpster. You carry on.
Okay, so yeah, I really want to get heart to heart back on the air. It's you know, it's such a great concept. It's such a good way of getting not only me and Thrash out there, and you know, we can, whoever we have as a guest. I could have Rusty Jack on as a guest, but the little sod can't speak. He just makes noises, so that would be pointless. But I really want to take heart to heart forward. You know, I don't even have to do it on a live show. We can film something, we can tape something, just get a few people in as a live audience for that little section. But you know, Adam Wessex, this vendetta he's got against me and Thrash, it's out of hand now, really.
But he has this vendetta against you, and yet he also has had his problems with Rusty. Rusty Jack eliminated Adam Wessex from your last show's Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, you weren't able to compete. Thrash did compete and was also eliminated. Why is it that Adam Wessex has such an issue with you?
He's just, I don't know. I don't know what goes through his head.
Oh, I stole a beer off the tramp.
Nicely done. Nicely
I was
done.
wondering where you were getting those from.
So yeah, Adam Wessex. Why has he got such an issue with us?
Well, told you, beat him up, but he thought he was a happy, clappy, I'll make the crowd love me wrestler in his first match.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's
Embarrassed him
almost
in front of everyone.
completely embarrassing in front of everyone. It's almost as if one of us slept with his girlfriend 20 years ago or something, and he just hasn't got over it since. Which, I mean, it definitely wasn't me.
Okay, that's juicy gossip. Would you say that Adam Wessex has some sort of sycophantic fantasy when it comes to shiny, glossy, jacked wrestlers, and that's why he's aligned himself with people like Ollie Blake? Would you suggest that maybe Adam Wessex is scared of you?
I think if Adam Wessex likes shiny, glossy stuff, then he needs to look no further than the heart-stopping JC Cardy. However, what he wants is these people with balloon abs and
More muscles and brains.
yeah, people like Nathan Angel, who, don't get me wrong, there's
Makes me
so
feel
much,
confused.
so much potential there. Oh, and
I feel funny inside when I look at him.
he's a very, very attractive man. Got a lot of potential, a lot of skill in the ring, but still very, very green and does not have the experience that the Thrash Hearts have. That, you know, these are people that Adam Wessex could get behind.
But they're easy on the poster. He likes people who look good on the poster.
I mean, he loves people that look good on the poster. I think he likes rubbing oil into them as well.
Probably.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing he'd like.
Is there anyone on the roster that you like in ACW
I like Thrash Kady.
apart from Thrash?
I did think I'd like Danny Disorder for a while. I thought he could be my friend. Then I found out he's a poser. It's all fake.
Yeah, yeah.
He drives an Audi TT and his favourite band's NSYNC.
Yeah, it turns out he likes.
It's all for the crowd. He's a thespian.
Yeah, he likes Backstreet Boys. He likes A1.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, but yeah, just total fake.
17. So yeah, I thought he could have been quite cool, but yeah, he's since he got that PCW belt, that little pussy bear belt around his waist, turned into a right weirdo.
Anyone else I like? Brandon seemed all right for 5 minutes.
Yeah, Brandon's he's pretty cool. I mean, he keeps himself to himself, really, doesn't he?
Well, turns out he's so thick. If you asked him to spell cat and gave him a C and a T, he wouldn't get it right. Yeah, it's very hard to have a conversation with someone that dumb.
He'd spell cot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, ACW.
Anyone else?
Who else is on the roster?
I mean, there's Scott Jones, the ACW heavyweight champion.
Oh, he's a good wrestler.
Well, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. What can you say about Scott Jones in the ring?
He's got the charisma of a stale rich tea biscuit.
Yeah. Or a poor tea biscuit, if you would.
Oh God.
Yeah. I appreciate the
but yeah, Scott Jones, he used to be really, really cool. You know, when I was first
wasn't cool. He just wore a leather jacket.
Yeah, I suppose.
Still wears a leather jacket.
Just doesn't wear it as cool as he used to.
Yeah.
But we cannot say enough how good that man is at wrestling.
He does the wrestles good.
He does.
Yeah, he's a very talented wrestler. He wouldn't be champion otherwise. How about Nitrous? You know, you've especially you, Thrash, you've had quite a few run-ins with what used to be Robbie Nitro, but he's had a change of heart recently after running into Tornado Kid, and now all of a sudden he seems to have a similar attitude.
Wait. Nitrous used to be Robbie Nitro.
Apparently so.
Oh.
If you look closely, you can still see a lot of the remnants of the potato, yeah.
Yeah, he must have he's obviously just peeled off his first name. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I saw this new night.
I know I beat him, but he did land on my head repeatedly.
And I
quite
did.
hard to remember.
And I did.
You think you beat him up so badly, that's why he's gone to the dark side?
That seems to be.
It does seem
to be a bit of a theme there. I beat people up so much that they decide they want to stop begging the crowd for applause. Instead, try and win a match.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget you beat the hell out of Roger Sears, didn't you, Thrash? And now look at Roger Sears. He seems to have had a change of heart, and he's been nothing but successful since.
Who? Roger Sears. No, Roger Sears, the old guy. No, used to be the referee.
No.
Leather jacket, mohawk.
You sure I've met him?
He used to be a family man. You beat him up when he was a family man.
Sure, literally stomped his head into the floor once.
Roger, well, I'm not surprised.
No idea.
I'm not surprised that Thrash doesn't know who he is, to be honest, because like he came on your podcast and he said something about me. He said that I was too entertaining for my own good. Now, it doesn't surprise me that someone like Roger Sears is going to describe me as too entertaining because the man is boring. Thrash Kady doesn't know who he is because he's boring. He hasn't made an impression on Thrash Kady. He's just boring.
Sure,
you beat him up. He pinged you, but you beat him up.
Well, I don't think I remember that.
The thing is, I look at Roger Sears and I think, Roger, you know, you've got this cool new attitude, but like, I just want to inject a bit of excitement into your life. I want to kidnap your son and dress him up like me and have him call me dad eventually. Have you seen Hook? You know, I want to do Hook.
Yeah.
I want to do Hook with like just to inject a little bit of excitement in his life because man, he needs it. Fantastic in the ring. Don't get me wrong. He's such a good wrestler. And there's a reason that he is so successful. It's probably because he doesn't focus on being exciting, but he just gets the job done. But I just, you know, just have a bit of excitement, have a bit of flair, Rog. Come on, big Rog. A bit of flair.
Big Rog. Is he a big guy?
Quite big-headed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Don't really like him.
The opinions of Roger Sears aside, it is worth pointing out Roger Sears was chosen to be part of the 4 men to challenge for the first ever ACW Heavyweight Championship. Do you have any opinions on why either of you were overlooked for that tournament?
That's something that you really need to be asking Adam Wessex, but I think that's your
everything
answer.
Else.
Yeah.
Guess who's in charge?
Yeah. I mean, you said earlier that obviously Scott Jones is a very deserving ACW champion, and 100% he is. But would he have ever got his hands on that title if either of us was in that tournament? I mean, if either of us was in that tournament, it would have been Thrash Kady versus JC Cardy in the final. All day.
Who wins in a singles match between you two?
The audience.
Good answer.
Next question.
Very good answer.
But yeah, I'll let him say that just because we all know.
We all know it's the audience.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. You're a tag team, obviously, but at the same time, you both had a relative amount of success as singles wrestlers, and obviously with JC being injured, Thrash has had to still go it alone as a solo wrestler in the meantime. Are there any dreams beyond just tag team championships? If you had your way, would you like to win more championships, singles titles?
We could probably, you know,
I mean, my waist isn't that big, but I'm sure I can find other places to put more belts.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many tag team championships in the world, and once we've got all of them, where do we go from there?
No, and sometimes I just can't bother to turn up, so, or you hurt yourself again.
Yeah.
There's something else to do in those situations.
How did you hurt yourself, JC?
Oh, it was doing some wrestling actually. I was doing some wrestling and my knee just it gave way and it's put a real downer on the end of my year, man.
I asked Adam Wessex about your injury and asked him specifically what his opinions were on your knee injury, and he said that the reason that your knee gave way was because you were carrying Thrash Kady. What do you have to say about that?
Oh,
that's not true.
Get my hands on him.
That's not true.
Only I was allowed to hurt him.
I don't need to carry Thrash Kady. Thrash Kady in singles competition, right? He's got an over 80% win record in ACW. Nobody's got that. Scott Jones doesn't have that. Roger Sears doesn't have that. Danny Disorder doesn't have that. Brandon Lee doesn't have that. Over 80%.
But it sounds good. I'll trust his maths because I ain't doing the adding up. Yeah.
I don't need to carry him. He doesn't need anyone to carry him. I'll tell you what.
Being carried.
I'll tell you, if you want to make jokes like that, Adam Wessex, I injured my knee because we were carrying the whole company on our backs. Thank you.
Yeah. Someone needs some personality in that place. Other than Danny Disorder pretending like a little panto bitch.
Who's the dream tag team opponents for the Thrash Hearts?
You are, isn't it?
I mean, they're too scared to fight us.
You know who FTR are, I think. I know you don't really watch.
I've heard people talk that they're quite good.
Yeah, it's probably going to be FTR or Too Cool.
Too Cool.
Yeah, one of them's dead.
Yeah. Difficult.
Oh, I used to like Legion of Doom when I was a kid. Can we fight them?
Yeah, we'll get the 2004 version. They're really good.
I mean, Roger Sears looks like he's a big fan of Legion of Doom, judging by that mohawk. What do you think about Roger Sears' new haircut, by the way?
He's had that for quite a while, hasn't he? He's always had a little Brazilian landing strip along the top of his head.
Not blonde, spiky. No, I'm still thinking of someone else. I
No.
still have no idea who this man is.
No, Roger's he's got it's like almost like a skid mark across his head.
Oh, no, still no idea.
Sometimes he wears turquoise point pants, and
What colour is that?
somewhere between blue and green, but not quite aquamarine.
Interesting. Very interesting. Gentlemen, I have a list here of names that were sent in to me. If you will indulge the Wrestle plug for a moment, we do something called word association. I'd like each of you to give me one word to describe the names on this list, although it might be an issue because from what I can tell, Thrash Kady doesn't know half of these individuals, despite the fact that he shares a locker room with them.
I will do my best, King of the Wrestle Dogs.
Yes, King of the Wrestle Dogs. Thank you. Right. So this list, of course, was provided by a multitude of different people. Some were cackers and some were Wrestle Dogs. So one word to describe Danny Disorder.
Phony. I think he wants both of us. The man on the screen wants both of us to do it.
Okay. I'm going to say entertainment. He is a very entertaining person. Yeah.
Oh, when he's faking it, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's very, very entertaining when he's in his thespian mode out there in front of the crowd.
Yeah, like Sir Ian McKellen.
That's quite a comparison. One word to describe your mortal enemy, Rusty Jack.
Smelly.
Mongrel.
One word to describe the brand new change of heart that is Nitrous.
Interesting. Let's see what this future holds.
Confused. I mean, I'm confused. He might be confused as well. I don't know. Haven't really spoke to him.
When he was Robbie, he did always look quite confused.
I liked it when he dressed up as a Brexit flag.
That was funny.
Yeah. One word to describe the main event, Roger Sears.
Ooh, boring. That's one word each. Carry on.
One word to describe the vegan warrior, Ryan Hendricks.
Dork.
Russell Sprout.
That's 2 words.
Yeah. I get the being fanatic.
Fair enough. One word to describe Frankie T. The man who you put for a table at PCW.
Yeah, well, actually, it was Ryan putting through a table because
I thought you might take credit for that.
Thrash Kady jumped out of the way.
Not just fists here. Hey.
Ryan hit him with a cucumber. I would say cucumber.
Has he matches since? Because
He's probably still got
might be hurt. Might be the words that.
He's not wrestled since. No.
Oh, well, yeah, possibly hurt then.
All right. Emotionally and physically, I'd imagine. One word to describe. Not entirely sure if either of you will know this individual. One word to describe Crusher Curtis.
Crusher Curtis. This is Crusher Curtis, formerly known as Curtis Chapman. Am I right?
No.
No. Sorry. My information is incorrect then. I'm not aware of who Crusher Curtis is.
Fair enough. One word to describe Adam Wessex.
Just one word.
Oh, I can't think of one word.
I'm stuck on all these kid-friendly shows. What am I allowed to say? Can I say what I like on it?
You can say whatever you please at the Wrestle Plug. It's 18.
Cunt!
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we appreciate honesty at the Wrestle Plug, that's for sure.
I can't gonna swear. My one word to describe him is just idiot. Does not know what he is doing.
One word to describe Nathan Angel.
Potential.
Confused. Makes my tummy hurt. Trust fund Barbie doll.
Hyphenated.
Yeah, it's all one big word.
It's a lot of hyphenation. Fair enough. One word to describe Ollie Blake.
What's happened?
Lightning.
Are you okay there, JC?
What? Oh.
What's gone?
I pressed something.
Get it off me. Get it off me.
You don't look like that.
That's.
Ah!
Why is it?
How
can you
stop
it?
Yeah. Try to fix the volume. Nice. Phew.
Now we know.
There's one very supernatural alley that you're
technical skills to the fore again.
Bloody hell. Right, this is why we don't do sound. Because pigs come out of nowhere. Right. Nathan Angel, potential.
Yeah, I mean, he's Wonder Kid.
Ollie Blake, before you decided
Lightning.
Yeah, pretty good.
He is good. He is so good.
He is very good. How do you feel about the fact that he's also aligned with Adam Wessex, though?
Said everyone who doesn't have their own soul is just brown-nosing shill.
It just goes to
wrestling
show
business is full of them.
Even an idiot like Adam Wessex knows how good the Lightning Kid Ollie Blake is, and can manage to recruit him to be by his side because he knows that Ollie Blake is.
So if he doesn't have Nathan Angel and Ollie Blake next to him, one day we're going to catch up with him when there's no cameras.
Well, yeah. If Adam Wessex is ever around and there's no Ollie Blake or Nathan Angel to watch his back, then the Thrash Hearts will be coming and knocking.
Interesting. This one's for you, JC. One word to describe your tag team partner, Thrash Kady.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy. Oh, if I had to pick one word. I mean, where do you start? He's loyal. He's kind. He's generous. He's.
Give you a sausage.
See, he gave me his pocket sausage. He's magical. He's fantastic.
Just strange, goofy.
There is not one word that can describe Thrash Kady. He's the mosh pit psycho. He's the baddest dude here. He's my best buddy, Thrash Kady.
Oh,
Thrash, one word to describe JC Cardy.
He's all right.
It's high praise from you.
Yeah, lovely. I'll take that.
Yeah, very high praise. And one word to describe the Thrash Hearts.
Future.
Dominant.
Watch your backs.
Is that hyphenated as well?
All of them are together.
Fair enough. Gentlemen, you have beautiful t-shirts. Where can fans buy your t-shirts? Are they only available at shows?
They're available at shows. I mean, if you want to send the Thrash Hearts page on Facebook or Instagram a message, then we can certainly look into getting one sent out to you. It'll be slightly more expensive due to postage, etc. But yeah, Thrash Hearts merchandise available now, designed by the fantastic AN Design.
Obviously, very talented. It's a lovely t-shirt. As far as social media goes, obviously it must be very difficult for you, Thrash, because you're in an alleyway. So obviously you must leave a lot of the social media managers.
I found this laptop somewhere. That's working.
And right,
where did you get that laptop from?
Best not to ask.
Fair enough. I don't think I want to know.
Something about a skip and outside of Jonathan Ross's house, but we won't go there.
Can't move very fast.
So when it comes to don't you mean one? When it comes to our social medias, I've actually I've been teaching you all of our handles. So Thrash.
Oh, it's Thrash Hearts, isn't it?
Thrash Hearts, yep. On Facebook.
Yeah, it's Thrash Hearts.
Yep.
On the Instagram, it's Thrash Hearts.
Yep.
We have an email.
We do, yep.
Thrash.hearts at Gmail.
Thrash.hearts at Gmail.
Probably.com. Oh, yes.
Exactly, spot on. So he is learning, and eating at the table soon. Lucky.
It's uncomfortable. Do small talk.
He doesn't like small talk.
I can tell. Gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to have you on here. You obviously will be welcome back. I don't know how easy it is to continuously piggyback the Wi-Fi of the local casino, but obviously we'd like to give them many thanks for at least allowing the opportunity for you to
come on our around somewhere.
Yeah, you can always get a Wi-Fi signal.
That's very true. It's very true. If all else fails, you could always piggyback Adam Wessex's Wi-Fi.
Adam Wessex's Wi-Fi. I wouldn't get caught dead on that network. Don't know what he's looking at.
Wouldn't want to look at his internet history.
Saw a little bit of it on when we were having to do the sound, and let me tell you, it was not pretty.
Wow.
Very specialised.
I know. What is a peanut butter foster mum?
Don't know.
Well, anyway, he was looking at them.
No idea. No idea what one of those is. Is there anything you'd like to say to your legions of adoring fans?
Keep coming to the shows, you cackers. Keep buying the merch. If you've already got a t-shirt,
buy another one.
Nothing wrong with it. You can cut the sleeves off one. You've got a vest version. And then, you can get a third one. You can cut a bit off the bottom. You've got a little crop top version. You can do one with sleeves off and a little bit off the bottom. So, get 4 t-shirts.
Yeah, we could keep making them.
What if you buy one and then you put a little bit of weight on? Get another one that's a little bit bigger. Get another one that's a little bit smaller in case. I think everyone needs at least 7 or 8 of our t-shirts.
And if we see you wearing one, we'll think you're slightly less incels with hygiene problems that most everyone else in the Wrestle crowd is.
If you're wearing one of our t-shirts, you're far more likely to get a photo with us. They are worth a lot of money. You're far more likely to get a photo with me, and maybe Thrash might be in the background if we can angle it right.
Fair enough. Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on the Wrestle Plug. I appreciate that you have far more interesting things to do, so I appreciate the time that you've afforded me tonight.
It's all yours.
Yeah, Cheers for making me sit out here, man, on the screen. I was told I was going to get some money out of this. All right, I'm fucking off.
Cheers, Thrash. Can't believe you did a swear again, but you like all that anyway, don't you?
Sure, we can censor that. That's not a problem. Yeah, sure, not a problem. JC, is there anything you'd like to say now that Thrash has left?
Just thank you ever so much for having us on. You know, I know that you as a podcast, you're obviously you need that massive boost in the views that we're going to provide to you, and so thank you, and also you're welcome.
I do feel welcome, has to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that the Thrash Hearts are available on social media. If you want one of their t-shirts, contact them directly, and I'm sure they will sort you out with something very, very beautiful. And make sure that you're extremely complimentary about JC Cardy's fashion sense, because he is, of course, one of the best dressed men in all of the world, never mind just professional wrestling.
Right.
There you go. You heard it from him first. And yeah, all situations and alleyways aside, thank you very much for watching the Wrestle Plug. Hopefully we'll catch you very soon for more content from said podcast.